Cybebrainer is an online training platform designed to help individuals and teams learn the latest technologies and become certified professionals, producing a comprehensive learning experience.
And I can drill it down by different options. And here, if I'm going to give more number of values in terms of details and everything, that is going to give a new flavor of reporting for me. And I can put a country over here for a country. I can do it, and again I can have more levels as well. So I can say first country, then I can introduce another type of a field. So I'm going to have this drill down by country and by location. The report might look a little bit clumsy because in US I have so many locations and all of these values are going to be coming over there. So now, typically what will happen is you may be approached by an HR consultant or not, an HR consultant, HR coordinator, or an HR talent manager or HR manager from your client organization. And they may say that I'm seeing this particular field, build me a report with the employee and possibly education. Say it's going to say the allows the university. It should say Carolee allows the university. So it should show a report only with the employee and the education details as per the worker profile only. This is typically how a requirement will be dealt to you or delivered to you. They will say, this page, I see this field. This is typically what I want to see in my report. You build me a report. How will you approach this? How will you approach this? Because here this is only going to say, even if I go to this particular related business objects, it may not give me all the information related to my business object and everything correct. Will it give my business object? Maybe not. But Workday does give you an option to find out the related business objects as well. So if you see for all of these related actions that you see there are some standard related actions, options, integration IDs, possibly favorites and possibly audits, or it's not going to be for everything, for system-related ones. You may not take that. But integration ID and your reportings are always standard across the board for any page and any object that you see. So related actions will always have reporting options available. Imbibed in net. See, even in this particular actions, if I go over here, I will see something called as reporting. Alright. And say for this, if I want to pick the field, or in this overall page, if I click on reporting and if I go to report, fields and values. I go to reporting. I go to actions, and then I go to reporting, and then I go to reporting fields and values. It is going to give me all the fields in this page with their relevant values. Just hang on for a minute. It's just taking some time. So when you want to build a report, you can look at the appropriate field that is being used here. Why I'm saying this is because I'm not sure whether it is going to be from the worker. It need not necessarily be from the worker. Business object. It could be part of another business object as well. Got it. It can be part of another business object as well. So how do I find it out? So this is the easiest approach for me to find out, based on the requirements that I get from my client HR team. And this is the way I would go about this. Let me try something else, simpler, so that you are going to get some more meaningful data. Why do we look at this? This is just age, is over here now, so let me go to the worker profile. And I go to Dalhousie University related actions. I go to reporting and I go to reporting field and values. I get all of these fields and values over here. See here. I see Dalhousie University. Alright, that is the value. And it says, the description is identified as the educational allows you to drill down as well if you do want to, and the field name is education. And what is going to be the related business object over here is education is going to be my related business object as well. And from here, if I want to build a field for the worker, all that I need to do is go to my business object, called as education, and find out the related business object from worker business object. And I will be there. So in a real world, how your requirement could come like. See your HR from your HR manager. Or somebody will say, I want workers plus their education details. This is all that they will tell you. They will say that I want a report which is going to show me worker name plus my education university. Very, very simple. Like I'm taking very, very simple. You can try this for anything and everything under the sun as well. But I'm showing you very simple. So how do I approach this? Because the same education, information, or university can be picked from 100 different business objects. For example, maybe an exaggeration, but it could be picked from so many different ones. So how do I know that this is what I need? I go to the related actions of this particular object, which is TELUS University. And for everything, I will see a field over here, an option over here, called as reporting. And then I go to report fields and values. I'm going to get this particular career. I'm going to get field and value. Here I say, field value is Dalhousie University. And I'm going to be choosing the relevant field over here, called as education. And this education is part of the business object called as education business object. So this is the field I need to use. And again, I can use the relevant related business object from worker in order to drill down more information. Alright. I can get more information from this, based on whatever values I have. It's straightforward and simple enough. Clear. This is how real-world requirement will come out to you. Because no user from HR manager or anybody is going to give you the business object. Hey, this is the data source. This is the business object from where I needed this information. They are never going to say they will see one particular page. In this page, I want this field and I want you to provide me a report. They may give you information that they want a standard report or they want to advance report or a customer report or a box report. But in a real world, they may not even say that. It is up to you consultants to give them the best option possible. You may choose and advance report. You may choose whatever type of report that you want to and try to convince them. That's up to you. But how to get that particular field? It's up to you. Alright. So this is how a real-world requirement will come up from your business. Once you get into an organization, and this is the way you can approach. This is not the only way that you need to approach, but this is the way you can approach. Because, like I said, there are resilience to do so many things. And this is the way I would approach this, because for me the business will only say, I want this field from the worker field. Worker page. And you get me this particular report. That's all simple enough. That is all that, the work. The HR will say. They will not say anything more apart from this. And it's up to us to find out which business object I want to take, the field and everything. And I would approach this week. And if you already know the relevant business object and all those information, find future. Alright. But this is a more standard approach which you can use. And as you can use it for any page in Workday, every Workday page will have such reporting options. It's for your use. Alright. So just get to the other stuff that we have already seen. So, like I said, this is going to be more or less the last session for reporting. And it will be ending reporting here. And from tomorrow, I'll be starting over EIB tomorrow, so we will just jump on to EIB. That's going to be another interesting topic, which we will see tomorrow. Alright. Now let's jump into the deck that we have. So we've already seen different types of reports. We have simple advanced 15 metrics. And we've also seen search reports as well. Transposed inbox, trending composers. We are not dealing with this right now, because it's going to be a little bit overwhelming for you. And it is not used so much. Not so much used. Other types of reports are not so much used. So this is going to be more what we use on a day-to-day basis in a real world. Alright. So that's why I'm just going through these reports and make yourself familiar with these full types of reports, and if you want to explore it, well and good. And it's not something that you cannot learn so difficult, or something. Inbox is more like a boxing kind of a strategy on the real fighting boxing, but a box kind of a report you will have. And there are some other parameters that you can give and everything trending. This like some charts and how the trending charts are going. We just like how you have it in Power BI or in Tableau. So the trending options available. That's all it is. Alright. Next, we've seen about data sourcing. Like I said, that data source is going to be the most important option that you can possibly choose, or you should possibly choose, in any report creation. Alright. In any reporting, any report that you are going to create, your data source is going to play 50% of the work. And if you have that sorted out, everything else is going to fit in play. Alright. And, at the same time, you have two different types of data sources. Like I said, one is going to be your indexed data source. And another is going to be your non-indexed data source, which I've already explained. So your indexed data source is going to be having an indexing. Just like how you have in your database concept for the rest of the folks. Now, from a non-database background, indexing is nothing but say, I'm going to give a field, say I have a worker database, in the worker database. My employee ID is usually the index. So once that is marked as an index for every employee ID, I will have a location, or a database location to be more precise. So that it need not skim through the entire database, the number of thousands and hundreds and thousands of records which are available. It need not skim through that and then find out. It is rather an easier way for you to find. Say, for example, if I'm going to say in an easier way, say employee record, say for median, is available in page number 23. Say, imagine you have a book in your book. The first page is always one of your index of content. They're saying go to segregated like employee information. So just by referring the index, I can directly go across to the page and find out the details of Rian, rather than going from one page to another, and then finding out where Rian state is. This is typically what happens in an indexed data source. Same concept also happens in your database terminology as well. That's what we're going to have over here. Clear on this? So, like I said, indexed data source are preferred to be used. Preferred because 99% of the times you may use indexed data source. Non-indexed data sources may have a usage as well. I'm not discounting that particular option. If you want to use a non-indexed data source, you can use it. But again, it is like 99% of the times, we prefer that you use an indexed data source because of performance-relevant factors. Your performance is going to be a lot better. If it is going to be your indexed data source, your performance is going to be way better, because when it's going to fetch hundreds and thousands of records, it's always better to have an indexed data source. Just see over here. You see a processing request. This is like taking ages over here. Possibly it is using some kind of a non-ending status. So that's why it's taking ages to fetch the data. If it's going to use an index to database, and if it's going to have fewer number of columns than everything, it is always easier to do it. Alright.
Please do like, share and subscribe to our channel.